Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. In our first session, we have seen the foundation of meditation, and it was concluded that the goal of meditation is freedom from body identification. Then in our second session, we have tried the practice of asana is not meant for sitting in a particular posture for a long period of time, but the purpose is that we attain freedom from body identification. There we try to experience what it is like being other than the body. Then we concluded that when we are identified with the body, all the thoughts will be in relation to that body. Whenever we are identified with anything finite, thoughts are produced with reference to that particular identification. Therefore, meditation is freedom from body identification. Thereafter, we don't have to struggle for thought arrest. No need. It is something like this. Take one example. When the river is flowing straight, no turmoil, but in between, if there is a pillar or a rock or a stone, in that particular spot, the water will be ebbing. Ebbing means it will be moving in the opposite direction. Only few moments, not even half an inch. And therefore that plain, transparent water, where the obstacle comes, immediately it becomes milky. Some kind of froth comes. And again it goes away. Now, if we don't want to remove that obstacle in the flow of the river, and we want that ebbing of the water should stop, we are doing something impossible. So what has to be done? Remove that obstacle in the flow of the rivers or the waters. Exactly. The river of life is flowing. There is no reverse gear. It goes from the beginning, birth to the death. Life is flowing. And in that flow of life, there is a rock called that the body, and this body identification starts creating ebbing in the flow of life. And then ebbing in the flow of life is called as thoughts. Therefore, whatever we may do to control the thoughts, it will not help. Even if it helps, it will be temporarily, for a short period of time. But again, the whole life is a burden that we carry. Therefore, we have to be fully convinced. Meditation is not sitting in one posture. Meditation is not trying to experience something inside the body. There is a tickling in the stomach, there is a tickling in the chest, there is a tickling in the throat, there is a tickling in the eyebrows, there is a tickling on the top of the head. What is that tickling? Eczema. Don't get carried away by that. And the thing is, it does happen. It happens. Those people who say that when I sit for meditation, I get some kind of peculiar feeling in between the eyebrows, I get some kind of pressure on the head, top. This all happens, there is no doubt about it. But this happening is the play of Maya, is a play of mind. Because we have been hearing here and there so many times, when your Kundalini is awakened, slowly, these things start happening. And that thinking has gone so deep in us, then yoya shraddhaha sa eva saha. Then whatever we think, that happens. See, friends, therefore, if these things are happening, we are going the wrong way, don't give importance to that. Because once you are out of the body identification, how any reference to the body can be made valid and real? See? Therefore, the second technique which is told in Yoga Shastra is the technique of pranayam. By this pranayam also, we have to ultimately attain freedom from body identification. That is the only thing. Health will be a byproduct. Quiet mind will be a super byproduct. That is not the purpose. So, let us learn something about this pranayam business. Normally, we breathe 15 times per minute. So in 24 hours, we breathe 1600 times. And this breathing is never deep, it is only superficial. And therefore, the oxygenation of the blood does not happen fully as required. First thing. Second thing. We keep on eating whole day. You see, after every lecture, eat. Whole day goes on eating. And there is no control, there is no quality control, quantity control. So all that food which goes inside, it has got three outlets. One part of the food which is digested, assimilated, is used for tissue building. The second part is used for giving energy to the body, to the muscles, to the mind. And the third part, which is thrown out of the body as garbage, it is thrown out of the body again in three ways. Because matter exists in solids, liquids and gases. So, the unwanted digested portion of the food is thrown, solids through the fecal material, liquids through the urination, etc. And the gaseous toxins are accumulated in the body, in the blood. Gaseous toxins, we are not talking about the gas emission from the wrong end. No, that is not the meaning. Gaseous toxins, they keep on accumulating in our blood, and the blood becomes saturated because the oxygenation is not fully happening, and then that after saturation, the toxins are deposited in between two bones called as the joints, where there is a space. So all these toxins keep accumulating there, and because they are toxins, they keep on eating the heads of the bone, they keep on destroying the cartilaginous disc if it is there, they go on dehydrating the synovial fluid. As a result, after a particular period in life, we start getting pains in all the joints. Then, one more thing these toxins do. These toxins also act as a stimulus for the mind to throw thoughts. See. Therefore, what is the purpose of the pranayama? First purpose is to empty these toxins from the bloodstream. And therefore, we are told, practice deep breathing. When we do deep breathing, in that all the air from the lungs is squeezed out, and then the lungs are filled totally. The cardiac lobe, the lower lobe of the lungs, everything is filled completely by breathing in. And in that, the oxygenation of the blood happens. And when it is done for n number of times, slowly, slowly, all those toxins are removed. As we have to go to the toilet, to urination 2-3 times a day, to remove the unwanted stuff, exactly the same way, we have to practice pranayam at least twice a day, morning and evening. So that is toxins are removed. See. Now, what this pranayam does in addition, now the third input, be attentive. You must have seen a banana fruit. It has got 3 things. One is the skin, second is the fruit that we eat, and in between there are threads. When that fruit is not sufficiently ripe and we want to peel it off, it doesn't happen normally, it is not comfortable, and either half the skin comes out or the fruit is destroyed. Then what we have to do? Let the fruit ripen. And when ripening is complete, then we just peel off the skin without any difficulty, and after we peel out the skin, there are threads in between the skin and the fruit. Those threads are also thrown. If this picture is clear, exactly the same way. In the skin of the mind is the fruit of the body, which is kept together strongly adhering by the threads of the prana. And this mind and the body is separated under 3 conditions. First condition is compulsion, called as death. The prana goes out and forgets to come. Oh, I have to go back also. Forgot. It's called as death. The second one is called as sleep. Death happens under compulsion, sleep happens under ignorance. The third thing is, through this process, so when we do this pranayama for some time, then slowly what happens? The hold of the mind on the body is slowly loosened. Anything, whatever insignificant it may be, if you hold for a longer period of time, we get tired. Anything. Even if you take this tissue paper and hold it in this way, the hand is extended at the level of the shoulder and hold it. After some time, the hand will get tired, will go down. Object's weight has not increased. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is, our mind, when it is holding on to the shape of the body, the mind gets tired, and therefore it wants to drop the shape of the body, and therefore the mind goes to sleep. And when the mind has given up the shape of the body for 4, 5, 6 hours, then again it is rejuvenated, recharged, and again the same thing. The mind holds on to the shape of the body, and we conduct the whole life as the body, for the body, on everybody. So these are the two aspects of the mind. One aspect is that because of the life is maintained and functional, and that mind is common for all of us. It is not a separate mind. See? Like the principle of expression of light through a bulb, that principle is common for all the bulbs. See? In the same manner, the principle of maintaining life and conducting the business of life is a common factor. And therefore, life-wise, we are all one. Hunger, thirst, delusion, anger, frustration, jealousy, common everywhere. I versus you is a common part of life. Then, second thing comes, when the mind takes the shape of the body, we start living as the body, for the body, on everybody. And the samsara begins. See, friends. Therefore, pranayam is done to separate the mind and the body, what we call body disidentification. And once this mind is separated from the body, it will have minimum thoughts, and ultimately it may end up in sleep, because we have taught our mind, when there are no thoughts, go to sleep. And this is the reason many students, when they sit for meditation, they sleep. Then, do not allow the mind to sleep. Engage the mind in contemplation. See, this is the process of pranayam, and this is the place of pranayam in meditation. If this is clear, then next step is how the pranayam is done. So you are all the victims of Ramdev Baba, so you all know that. So, one simple thing I'll suggest you. What is said, Anulom Vilom, then Bhastrika and Kapalbhati, you do it. It is for health purpose. We are not interested in health. Only deep breathing. First, fill in your stomach. Stomach means lower lobes of the lungs. Fill your stomach fully. Your stomach will bulge. Then fill your these cardiac lobes, the upper part of the lungs, fully. Your shoulders will be lifted. And don't do kumbhak. When you do kumbhak, again you will be caught up. So slowly breathe out first from the lungs, collapse the lungs, and then breathe out from the stomach by squeezing the diaphragm inside upward. This is a very simple process. And when this is done, maybe 10-20 times, then these unwanted metabolic toxins are slowly removed from the blood. Now see, when the toxins accumulate in our joints, when we break a joint, nothing is broken, but the sound comes. What is that sound? Nothing is broken. There is no pain. But when we break the joints, we feel relieved, is it not? It was those toxins. And therefore, when we do pranayam, those toxins are removed. And then, to that extent, the mind is not getting any stimulus from inside. We don't want to think, but we can't stop thinking. Who is compelling us to think? These toxins. We have to remove them. It is for this purpose pranayama is done. And this is the technique, as I told you. First, squeeze your stomach inside, upward. Stomach means here actually diaphragm. Inside, upward. So the lungs will be squeezed. All the air will get out. Then slowly breathe in, fill in the stomach. When the stomach is full, then breathe in and fill in the chest. And then the reverse way, first breathe out from the chest and breathe out from the stomach thereafter. Again by squeezing the stomach inside upward. When this is done slowly, from the frequency of 15 times per minute, we can reduce the frequency to 3, 4, 2 times per minute. And in that process, our lungs are cleaned. Our blood is purified. And thereafter, stop that, then we go into observing the mind and engaging the mind for next step. What is that? We will do it when it comes. So as you are all sitting, sit properly like yesterday I told you. Let the back be straight. If possible, don't take the support of the back. See that the weight of your body is landed on the sitting bones. Your fingers are interlocked, kept in your lap. You are cheerful and happy. In our heart we have our beloved Lord and the Guru Maharaj. They protect and guide us from within. At this moment we are nobody. All the meditations and whatever you have done, forget about it. Now you are fresh. We don't have to plan anything what we do after meditation. Now we are in the utter present. Now this is the last moment of our life. Now, as we told you, squeeze your stomach inside upward, breathe out, and then breathe accordingly. You can begin. Please continue some observations and instructions. The time required for breathing in and out should be equal, but at this stage it is not. If we become little aware, then automatically a perfect rhythm is set. In the practice of pranayam, they tell us to count 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2 times 1 to 8, then another 2 times 1 to 16. Please do not do that. You will be creating the mind. The mind will gather momentum. Simply remain aware that the time required for breathing in and out is almost equal. Now breathe normally. Now you will see that your breathing is extremely slow and shallow. This is the master key in separating the mind and the body. Because mind is not carrying the load of body identification, body being steady and relaxed, the oxygen requirement for the body metabolism is also minimum, and therefore minimum breathing is happening. Don't concentrate or focus on breathing. Mind will be born. Simply remain aware. Breathing is happening. When we concentrate according to yoga, mind becomes very strong. And strong mind is extrovert mind. When we remain aware, of breathing, because the breathing is happening in the present, we also remain only in the present. As a result, mind slowly drops the past and the future, and the present is reduced to presence. This is not a Jada Samadhi. Sounds are heard, but a hearer is not born. Like we were playing meditation during asana. Now we play meditation, and it is take the position of mind space, like the gross space supports everything, opposes nothing, but is not influenced by anything. Similarly, the mind space supports all experiences but doesn't get influenced by anything. So we don't remain opposed to something and favorable to something. No. Like the gross space has no movement, all movements happen in the gross space. Similarly, the mind space has no movement. It is the experiences or the thoughts. They come and go. So let us play being mind space. So no fighting with the thoughts. Only through this wisdom thoughts come and go, mind is the same. moment you become aware of the thought shies away and disappears. Initially, it is Savikalpa Samadhi, where the Triputi is maintained. But thoughts are no more disturbing factors. This leads to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the Triputi of knower, known knowledge disappears. The body and the world has almost disappeared from knowledge. Now give the mind something infinite, like the silence. more than one long sitting, if we spend short spans for more number of times in a day, it is more effective. Like a child walks initially few steps, in the same manner. Don't struggle to make it 2 hours, 3 hours, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but fully intense, completely relaxed. And when it is done 2-3 times a day, slowly we get the knack of it. And if we do beyond our capacity, the mind will start revolting. Steady and slow. Take a deep breath slowly. See, the mind is now including the body. Move the toes and the fingers. Now the concept is clear. I am inside the body, the world is outside. And the samsara begins. Offer everything at the feet of the Lord. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.